First, lost but now found. Tonight, solving the mystery of some forgotten World War I diggers. And it leads families to a bush cemetery. Steve Marshall was there.
And you can see about a dozen crosses just standing up. And, you know, I looked at it and I thought, oh, those people, nobody knew there was somebody there, and now they do.
It's nice to see that he's recognised after all these years, that he's not, you know, a bit of dirt or a bit of grass. He's been acknowledged with a cross. He was forgotten as now. So it was beautiful.
Some diggers have been here for more than a century. No cross, no headstone, no name. Once lost, now found, and never forgotten.
It's recognition. As far as I'm concerned, it's recognition for what they've done for their country.
The faces of forgotten diggers. At the RSL Memorial Hall in the New South Wales country town of Orange, researcher Sharon Jamieson has solved a puzzling case. She's traced these World War I soldiers to almost 100 unmarked graves in the nearby cemetery.
It's a lot of hours and a lot of cups of tea. I started at the top, my friend Margaret started at the bottom, and we went through every unmarked grave. Names,
photos, death notices and love letters are among the clues to solving this mystery. 96 men and 1 woman who died in and around Orange after returning home from the First World War. "104 years on since the end of the Great War, a familiar sound. The last post echoes across Orange Cemetery. Descendants of soldiers arrive, braving a bitter morning.
Today we're here to honour 97 First World War veterans.
It might be just 2 degrees, but these forgotten diggers are being honoured in a special ceremony hosted by the Orange RSL sub-branch ahead of today's Remembrance Day. Their once blank burial plots now bear their names. Diggers like William White.
How are you?
Oh, fine. I'm a bit emotional.
Yeah?
So
Yeah.
it's been pretty special. I didn't expect the kind of celebration and commemoration that we got today.
Lynn Germain is William's descendant. She's visiting his gravesite for the very first time.
To stand here now, know that this was given to William to commemorate his service to Australia back in the First World War. It's pretty special, yeah. Pretty special.
We've got somewhere to come now.
Yeah. And we'll be back. I'll bring back my family. My mother's 96. If I could bring her, I will. I've got 2 brothers, I've got cousins, I've got children, and I'd love them all to be here to think about William, what it means to the family and what he did, and the fact that he's been found.
George St John is also buried here.
So that's his war number, 4345, his name, 1st Battalion.
How about that?
And to hold it is, yeah, it just gives you a bit more meaning and more closeness to that ancestor. Yeah.
Bridget Watson now has more than a single dog tag to hold on to the memory of George.
What does it mean for you, as a relative,
Yep.
to see George's name on a white cross?
It's more of the acknowledgement, knowing that he has been recognised as a war veteran and a soldier that served for his country.
Cyril Rankin's bravery at Gallipoli earned him a war medal.
Cyril did a heroic thing, but yet he wasn't remembered here until now.
That's true, but he did what every other Australian soldier would have done.
Relative Warwick Rankin is here, but sadly, Warwick's dad isn't.
You must be very proud.
We are. My father was very proud. And it's a great shame, of course, that his daughter hasn't lived long enough to see this.
So, why were these 97 soldiers buried in unmarked graves? Well, many of their stories have troubled endings. Nearly half of them were admitted to the nearby Bloomfield Psychiatric Hospital.
They were shattered. They were shattered, yeah.
The PTSD, known then as shell shock, proved too much for too many. They took their own lives, leaving relatives in the dark.
When he died, he said that he had no family in Australia, but he did.
Others were drifters, some ex-jailbirds, but all of them were buried here at the Orange Cemetery with no fuss and no grave markings. Now, most of them have been given a cross. Others, who died from physical injuries suffered in the conflict, have been afforded an official Commonwealth war grave.
Do you think people like George, who had those psychological issues after the war, should be recognised with a war grave?
Absolutely. I think everyone should be acknowledged with a war grave. Yeah, regardless of how you died, whether it was a mental issue or a physical issue. Yeah, absolutely.
The families that know of the people have suffered often in silence, but to be able to see a family commemorate someone, this family and many others that we're able to try and help, that's what it's all about.
John Thomas from Forgotten Diggers is on a funding drive to give all returned service personnel a Commonwealth war grave, no matter what the cause of death.
Sadly, the vast majority will never see a Commonwealth war grave because their cause of death doesn't fit the definition of official war casualty. In our opinion, everyone who came back from that war came back a totally changed individual, and as a consequence, they all deserve one.
Was that hay fever or was it a tear in your eye, Walter?
I don't know.
Libby and husband Walt have been reunited with William Wrangham at his Commonwealth grave.
And it's the only way to keep the memories alive.
And for our children and our grandchildren to know his story too. I think it's wonderful.
And will you come back to the site now that it's now?
Yeah, well, it's special to me now.
Oh,
yes, yeah. And for the family, I'm very proud.
For now, though, it's time to reflect on the past sacrifice of not only these 97 brave souls, but every digger laying in an unmarked grave right across the country.
Do you feel some sort of closure today?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Knowing that he's going to be resting in peace.
And for those forgotten diggers who continue to be alone, researcher Sharon Jamieson isn't far away.
William, these are from Ada. She's been looking for you for 40 years and they never even told her that you were in the hospital. But you're together now, so these are from me. You had a crap life, man, didn't you? You really did. I hope you're happy now.